Hi Scorpio, welcome back to the Astrology 33 channel. This is your April 2026 tarot reading. Thanks to those of you who have liked, viewed, shared, and subscribed to the channel. I appreciate all of that. For those of you new to the channel, as far as what we have in front of us, it's a 12 card spread with each card representing a different house of the zodiac. Starting with your sign, Scorpio is the first house, all the way through to Libra, representing the 12th house. Once we get through all that, we'll pull an oracle card as well for some additional insight. As far as the decks being used this month, for the main tarot deck, we have the Tarot of the New Vision, and for the Oracle deck, we'll be using the Wisdom of the Oracle. And we're actually going to start the reading off by rolling those astrology dice we have in front of us to get an idea of where your focus should be as far as that goes. Alright, so we have 8, and 8th house energy for you guys is Gemini. Astrologically speaking, we will have Venus moving into that house on the 24th of April, and pretty much the day after that, we're going to have Uranus moving into that sign as well. So both of those placements will basically be moving, both of those planets, rather, will be moving from your 7th house of partnership, contracts, relationships into your 8th house. And 8th house points to death, rebirth, intimacy, and investments. All right, we have Jupiter. So for you guys, Jupiter is actually in your 9th house of philosophy, higher learning, and foreign affairs. And it was retrograde for quite some time, but on the 10th of March, it started direct motion. So you could be seeing momentum building in that area of life for sure. So maybe a little bit more growth, luck, and expansion. And we have Libra. So for you guys, Libra is actually your 12th house, and 12th house in general points to spirituality, blind spots, mental health. And astrologically speaking, really the main thing there, of course, is we're going to have that full moon in Libra right on the 1st of April. So makes sense to see that pop up as well. But we'll actually get started with the main spread. All right, so for the first house of personality, self-awareness, and appearance, we have the 3 of Pentacles. So for some of you, given that for you guys, Capricorn energy is the 3rd house of communication. Could just be saying that maybe you're having some discussions with people around building something. So some of you could just be as simple as building a sense of community, right? Maybe finding a new way to communicate with people around you, a way to just build and support each other in some way. I feel like that's primarily what you guys are going to be working on. But for others of you, maybe you're just trying to find someone to help with a beautification project of some kind as well. All right, so for your 2nd house of possession, self-worth, and finances, we have the High Priestess. So yeah, I feel like this is saying you might just be getting some strong intuitive insights around what to do when it comes to your finances, right? Maybe you'll get some good insight on what purchases are good to make versus which ones you should hold back on, things along those lines there. And part of you might just feel like, you might not even feel like you're consciously moving towards certain things. You might just feel like there's something beneath the surface pulling you towards certain decisions this month. Okay, so for your 3rd house of communication, short journeys, and siblings, we have the Knight of Wands. So this is a Sagittarius energy here. So yeah, I feel like this is saying, again, going back to what I was feeling with the 1st house, where I was saying, maybe you're trying to build a sense of community, right? So maybe you're interacting with people that maybe you wouldn't normally have interacted with, right? You could just be feeling a little bit more drawn to them. Just being a little bit more exploratory, right? Open to new conversations, new people. And in doing so, I feel like you're going to come away with some inspiration as well. All right, in the 4th house of home, roots, and family, we have the Empress. So this is primarily a Taurus energy here. And to see this, I feel like this is saying that your home environment is going to be a place of peace and safety for you guys this month, So even if you are feeling a little bit more outgoing when it comes to communication, right, and interacting with people maybe you haven't normally interacted with more recently, like this is saying at the same time, when you get to your home environment, you feel like you could rest, relax, hit the reset button, and feel refreshed and renewed as a result. All right, in your 5th house of romance, creativity, and children, we have the Queen of Wands. So this is actually an Aries energy here. And I mean, on the one hand, there's plenty of energy that's going to be moving through Aries. Some already is there, and then more will be moving through as we progress through April. But really, what I'm getting with this, in this context, I feel like this is saying you might be feeling a little bit reinvigorated when it comes to creativity, right? Also, even when it comes to perhaps pursuing romantic connections, right? Or at least being open to them. And I feel like there's something where you're going to be looking at things through a generational lens, right? So, for example, if you're looking at a creative project, right, maybe you're going to be getting insights from generations past that's going to help inspire you with those kinds of things. Some of you, if it's more around romance, right, maybe you're going to look at beliefs that might have been passed down to you when it comes to that area of life and whether they still fit for you or not, right? So I feel like there's just an energy to look at those things, explore those things, and find out what still fits and what doesn't. All right, so for your sixth house of work, health, and daily routines, we have the Knight of Pentacles. So this is a Virgo energy here, and of course your natural sixth house being Aries, and we just mentioned there's so much energy moving through there. Like this is saying that you will feel slow, steady progress there, so it might not be moving at the rate you would like, and partially that could maybe be due to Saturn being there, for example, which can slow things down a little bit, but at the same time, there's a lot of positive energy going through there as well. So it could just be saying that, okay, yeah, you're going to get some forward movement, just maybe not at the rate you would like, but overall it's probably for a good reason as well. All right. In your seventh house of partnerships, contracts, and relationships, we have the Seven of Cups. So this actually is a Scorpio energy here. So especially for you guys, could just be saying when it comes to that area of life, you could be feeling a little bit of confusion, right? So if that is the case, keep that in mind. If you have contracts in front of you, maybe you could give it a little bit more time before you would consider signing things like that. It wasn't that long ago that Mercury retrograde wrapped up. It was on the 20th of March, and now we'll still be in the post shadow period for, I'd say, more or less maybe first 10 days or so of April before it's fully clear. So if anything, it could just be saying give it a little bit of space. Maybe mid-month on, you might be feeling a little bit better about contracts, things along those lines there. But yeah, and then for some of you, if this is more related to romance, given what we were just talking about with the fifth house, right? Maybe as you reevaluate your views there, then that could open you up to more options, right? But maybe more confusion around that too, as far as which would be the best option for you. Okay, so for your eighth house of death, rebirth, intimacy, and investments, we have the King of Wands. So to me, this points to confidence, competence as well. So for some of you, this could just be saying that if you have been investing something, whether it be, actual monetary resources or just your time, energy, it looks like those investments will be paying off for you guys, or you will really see evidence that that's the case. And when it comes to, like we said, some of the other sides of it, right? Intimacy, death, rebirth, I feel like this is saying that you're gaining more confidence in yourself in general. And possibly as a result of going through some growth cycles recently. All right, so for your ninth house energy, we have the Knave of Pentacles. So this is basically the Page of Pentacles, and what I'm getting with this could just be saying that, yeah, for some of you, maybe you have been reevaluating your beliefs, right? Like we talked about generational things, maybe just interacting with new cultures and being exposed to some new beliefs there, right? Things along those lines. I feel like this is saying, you could be feeling like you're a lot closer to embracing what truly fits you best, right? But it could just be one of those things where, like, all right, I haven't found something that fully fits where I'm going, but I'm getting closer. For others of you, this could also be pointing to what we were saying, exploring, right? New environments, possibly even wanting to move somewhere new, or at least vacation somewhere new to just get some exposure to different environments that you feel like would help you with your growth. All right, so in the 10th house of career and social status, we have judgment. So yeah, so seeing this here, usually I view this as the rebirth side of Scorpio energy. So to see this in your 10th house could just be saying that maybe an opportunity will come back around for you guys that you might have. Maybe you weren't able to get it off the ground for whatever reason in the past. There's many reasons why that could have been the case, so we're not going to spend all the time going through them. But this is saying that that could be what's coming back around for you. Now, for some of you, this could certainly be career related, given that this is primarily what the 10th house points to. But when it comes to social status as well, right, it could just be how you're viewed, right? Maybe you're able to reinvent your images in some way in general. But that's what I'm seeing with that. All right, in your 11th house of friendships, groups, hopes, and wishes, we have the Four of Swords. So this is actually Libra energy here, and that does bring me back to the fact that we're going to have that Libra full moon, right? We were talking about it right on the 1st of April. So seeing this here could just be saying that maybe through that full moon, it's going to actually help you with some healing. Now, for some of you, it could be healing actual connections from your past, or if not healing the connections themselves, healing around maybe something that might have taken place in those connections, right? Where you might have felt some kind of a level of disappointment or hurt or pain from these situations. Looks like there's going to be opportunities for healing and growth there. All right, and for your 12th house, which points to your spirituality, blind spots, and mental health, we have the Six of Swords. So yeah, again, like we said, that's Libra energy for you guys. We saw the full moon is going to be right at the start of April, and to see this here, again, I get a similar theme to what I was just saying with the Four of Swords there, like moving away from hurts from the past, right? So maybe viewing those things from a different lens now, right? Seeing things from a different perspective and just finally being able to let that go. All right, and bottom of the deck, we have the Eight of Wands. So this is Sagittarius energy here, which for you guys is financially related house. So yeah, so it could just be one of those things where there's a lot of flow of information, and I feel like the information is going to be aligning to where you feel like you could have more confidence in trusting the source of the information. And seeing the angelic figure in the artwork here, and then what we were talking about, if we tie this in, given that Sagittarius is your natural second house, and seeing the High Priestess representing your second house in the spread, could just be saying that, yeah, this could be ideas around money, right? How best to spend it, save it, well, you name it. So it looks like you could get some positive momentum there. All right, but we'll see what the Oracle card adds to the mix. So, like I mentioned, we're going to pull a card from the Wisdom of the Oracle. So I'm just going to give this a few shuffles, then we'll cut the deck and pull a card. All right, we'll take this card. Let's get this out of the way, and we'll see what you got. All right, we have a loyal heart. There's the artwork, and the number is 35. So we'll see what this has to say. All right, essential meanings says fidelity, loyalty, devotion. The Oracle's message: evidence of loyalty will appear in your life. Others will prove they are faithful to you, and you will in turn commit fully to them. This is a sure and abiding certainty in your heart. Know that Spirit is always loyal to you. No matter the outer circumstances in your life, trust and have faith, for you are eternally loved, always divinely protected, and divinely directed. So yeah, definitely an interesting message there, because it does seem to align with what I was saying, where, maybe there's healing of connections in the past. Maybe there's healing around generational things as well. So many different areas of life that could be playing out, but hopefully that resonated. The relationship message says your partnerships, friendships, and romantic relationships all have many qualities in common right now. Honest devotion, faithfulness, and a loyal heart are being shown to you. Are you as loyal in return? Now is the time for heartfelt commitments and trusting in divine protection. So yeah, that's an interesting message as far as seeing the confusion type of energy we see in the 7th house energy for you, right? So maybe you're trying to get some clarity there. And maybe this is saying that if you're having your doubts around if there's a loyalty and a connection, that seems to support that there would be. All right. And the prosperity message says your long term loyalty to your goals is becoming evident in the world of conditions where your aspirations for success assume form in reality. Success is finally taking shape. If you are loyal to your dreams, faithful to your plans while remaining flexible, and devoted to serving others, you will be shown proof of your true prosperity. This is a time for a joyful celebration of spirit, your manifesting partner. So yeah, definitely a positive message there, especially long-term goals, right? It's becoming evident in the world of conditions. So, like I said, maybe this was something that is coming back around from the past, right? Like I said, maybe there was a struggle to get it off the ground previously, but now you actually see that there is an opportunity to do so in a much better way in the present. So overall, it looks like a pretty positive reading. So hopefully that resonates for you guys, and we'll wrap up there. Bye.